Hello?
Hello, this is Adam Smith from the Nobel Foundation website in Stockholm. Is that Paul Krugman?
Yes, it is.
Congratulations on the award.
Thank you.
Quite a time to be awarded the Prize for Economic Sciences.
Yes, I'm a little, in a way I'm feeling that I don't have time for this. It's rather bizarre. But
Yeah. So the committees cite your new trade theory, which you developed in your papers in 79 and 80.
Yeah. It's a story about countries that are not very different in terms of their technology, in terms of their resources, but that nonetheless end up specializing on different goods that may be related but are not quite the same, and do that to take advantage of the advantages of large-scale production.
Mm-hmm. And the second piece of work that was cited was your core periphery model, which seeks to explain why production is becoming increasingly concentrated in certain places. Do you think that increased urbanization is a necessary consequence of increasing globalization?
Not necessarily, although it does work in some circumstances. What you do get is some understanding of how we can have gotten to this extremely unequal distribution of population across the surface of the world. That the reason why 80 million people live in a fairly narrow corridor along the east coast of the United States is not that there's something especially favorable about the geography, but it's simply the agglomeration forces. Essentially, each of those 80 million people is there because the other 80 million people are also there.
Yes. Nicely put. Turning to your journalism, do you see that as a natural consequence of your work in academia, this move towards a more sort of public outreach of what you do?
To some extent it was. I mean, I always felt that what I do when I try to explain the financial crisis in 800 words, and what I do when I try to model the financial crisis in a half dozen equations are very much the same kind of effort.
Yes. You are very politically involved now, or at least you take a political stance on things. Is that also a necessary consequence of trying to explain things?
I don't know. To some extent, let's put it this way. I was a very early critic of the Bush administration because I believed they were being dishonest. It seemed obvious to me that they were lying about budget arithmetic. So in some sense, my economics training was playing a role there.
Right.
But my views as a columnist are less controversial than they were a few years ago. Not because I've changed, but because a lot of, certainly the United States, has come around to my way of thinking. So when I was being critical of Bush and he had an 80% approval rating, there might have been an enormous firestorm about all of this. Obviously, I've gone somewhat beyond my role as an economist in the column, but hey, economists are people too, and are citizens too, and have political opinions.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you very much, and congratulations again.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.